That's Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This Christmas, make it easy for everyone to shop for you. At Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith, we've got everything riders love. Motorcycles, side-by-sides, ATVs, accessories, and apparel from all your favorite brands. Come in and let us make your Christmas wish list. We'll save all your info right here. Then your spouse, friends, or family can stop by, check your list, and pick up the perfect gift. Make it easy, make it awesome, make it Wheeler Power Sports. Located on 901 North 11th Street in downtown Fort Smith.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Tommy's right on this one. Do you feel? Let me ask you this.
Normal around here.
So even if one doesn't start and the other starts the second half, whatever I do, I need to have at least 20 minutes of them together.
Thomas with a rebound. Outlet, Acuff, 3-ball, good. Thomas out of the corner, and Malik just drained another 3.
If he is an NBA player, it doesn't matter if you're old or young. You won't believe this. The NBA is not saying we want old guys.
Hogs on a run out. Brazil throws it down.
Are you good enough to be in that league, then you got an opportunity. He looks the part. Now he's just got to keep doing it.
Brazil, the foul line, drives the basket, throws it down with 2 hands. Arkansas runs wild on Southern University on opening night in Fayetteville. A 32-point victory.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. With Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. And produced by Colton Little. This is The Morning Rush.
Now that's how you start a college basketball season right there. 109-77 in Arkansas's first official game this season over Southern last night. We've seen the two freshmen, Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas, have success in the exhibition games, and then they poured in 43 last night. Darius Acuff had a career high for a freshman debut of any Razorback with 20 in the first half. We saw Malik Thomas hit 4 threes. He's been a sharp shooter since he got here. These two have combined, Tommy, for I think over 100 points in these first 3 games when you include the exhibition. So looks like Cal hit on a couple young freshmen, and the rest of the guys, like TB, who had a career high last night, they're looking pretty good too.
Yeah, and I mean, to see Malik Thomas and Darius Acuff, you wonder, is there any team in the country that can match up with that guard presence? And Thomas, I know, is coming off the bench, but he's playing starter minutes. I'm not sure. Maybe we're getting caught up in the Razorback colored glasses. But man, that guard duo right there, and he's talking there about playing those guys 20 minutes together. I don't know who can match up with that over the course of 40 minutes.
Well, again, it's early. These are two freshmen that are having success against lesser competition. What do they do in East Lansing in their first road appearance? What do they do against SEC competition? Where do they go to Tuscaloosa? They go to Auburn. They go to these places where they're not used to the rims, the facilities, and they don't hit their first couple shots like they were able to last night. Malik kind of got them out of the rut in Memphis. You saw last night, it was Darius's game from the jump. So really encouraging to see 3 guys go for 20-plus, Darius, Malik, and Trevin Brazil. TB, you've been talking about him all offseason. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, I would just say the whole summer, the way we were scrimmaging, that's just the way I've been playing. And I know for us to be successful, I got to keep playing that way. So, I'm just doing my job.
A career high 25 for Trevin. He goes 8 of 10 from the free throw line, which is also a career high. 8 of 14 from the field. Knocked down a three-pointer. Also grabbed 11 rebounds. If you get 25, if you get a double-double, and even in the 20-plus from Trevin, you're going to be in a good shape in a lot of games this season. We know he has that talent. We know he has that skill set. It's just sometimes it doesn't look like that he's put it all together, but that was not the case last night, Tommy.
No, and TB, I mean, if I declare after one game and 2 exhibition games that Trevin Brazil's the best player on this team, do I have enough evidence at this point? Because I think from everything we've seen right now, he's the straw that stirs the drink. He's the go-to guy. He can play, I guess point forward, or he can play 4. He can play inside as a 5. So I think maybe he might be the most important player on this team.
I wouldn't disagree with that. What did you think about the game last night? Did you listen to it on ESPN Arkansas? Did you watch it on the SEC Network. 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group hotline open for basketball content. Tom Murphy's going to be on with us in the second hour. Bruce Dan Pradco Fishing's going to join us in about 5 or so minutes. We got some college football stuff to get into, including Herbie's comments on Lane Kiffin, how John Cohen is going about the Auburn job, who's the AD there, and Tommy, what reportedly got Hugh Freeze in trouble at Auburn, which I know is a hobby that you and I both enjoy, but as a college football coach, it's not necessarily something you want to be doing as reportedly as much as he did.
All right, we'll have our Pradco Pyramid of Power coming up in a few minutes. We're brought to you by the Inn at the Mill, exit 69 off I-49 in Northwest Arkansas. We're talking about basketball games and coming on the hill for the holidays. I know a lot of people will start Christmas lights and Christmas decorations are coming up. Town squares are being lit up at this point. Now's a great time to book maybe a weekend trip to Northwest Arkansas or get away just for a holiday, for a birthday, for a long weekend. The Inn at the Mill's got spacious, oversized suites. They can take care of you that Thanksgiving weekend if you're looking to come up for the Missouri game. 479-443-1800 is their number. 443-1800. Jennifer and her team will make sure you got the right reservation. 443-1800 or online at inatthemill.com.
Before we move on to that coaching stuff and also get into the Pradco Pyramid of Power, Derek in Fayetteville texting in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Tommy, he wanted to know your thoughts on the officiating from Saturday. An all-time high for Arkansas in penalty yardage and penalties called versus just 4 for Mississippi State.
I went back and watched the second half in particular again last night because I knew this would be a topic. I thought there were some inconsistencies. I understand why Bobby got so upset the one time and got the flag. I do think Arkansas played sloppy. I think if you go back and you look at the 18 flags, they showed most of the replays on the broadcast. Most of them were fouls. Most of them were warranted penalties. Now, I thought there were a couple of situations where they didn't match plays, and the fact on the 2-point conversion after they had penalized Quincy Rhodes for roughing the passer in the first half, and then the way Talon Green got taken down on that 2-point conversion in similar fashion, and there was no flag there, that was probably the most bothersome part of the officiating. Was it perfect? No. Did Arkansas commit most of those 18 fouls? Absolutely. Was it the difference in the ball game? I guess you could make that case, but Arkansas was their own worst enemy in most of those cases. Was it perfect? No. But, Arkansas did commit most of those fouls. I thought there were some inconsistencies, though, in what didn't get called versus what did get called.
Well, if you're to that point, I don't want to spend too much time on this because Arkansas at the end of the day lost, and now you're trying to bounce back this bye week before you take on LSU at 11:45 in Death Valley next weekend. But the inconsistencies, if you're going to be that ticky-tacking picky on some of those, which, like you said, if they were fouls, they were, then the 3 or 4 incidents that I was thinking of where the flag either was picked up or it wasn't simply called on Mississippi State doesn't make a lick of sense to me. I mean, there, in no way, shape, or form should one team have 18 fouls committed against them or calls or flags on them versus another team having 4. You're telling me one team committed over 4 times the amount of the other team? That's ludicrous.
Well,
and
do you want to call it even or keep it even?
I'm not saying that Mississippi State committed 18 fouls, but they were closer to double digits than they were at 4. I mean, come on. Like
now,
that.
Have you rewatched the game? You were at the game.
I watched.
Have you rewatched
I watched
the broadcast?
It on Fubu, yes, and on the recorded.
I wouldn't have said that out loud, but I don't know. I watched on Fubu.
It's my TV.
I understand. That's just an old man take. But if you watch the game and watch the penalties, the vast majority of those penalties were penalties. I mean, when you watch the video, what do you want to do? Just not call? Well, we've called too many. Quit fouling. Now, could there have been more flags on Mississippi State? Could they have matched plays better? I thought it was poorly managed, to your point. I agree with that. But in the end, if you watch it, the flags that were there were primarily fouls on Arkansas. I mean, when you run into Kyle Ferry on the field goal attempt, what are you doing? I mean, that's a foul. Why are you there? I understand you're trying to block the kick, but you can't run into the kicker. What are you doing?
My criticism is not on the ones that were called on Arkansas. It's the ones that they didn't call on Mississippi State. And and Andy's saying I'm going to blame the ref guy. I Colton and I mentioned several times yesterday that I don't think Arkansas lost the game because of the officiating.
He did mention
make that abundantly clear.
At least once per hour.
I hear you. It's frustrating. And I think we're tired of blaming the kids. I think we're tired of blaming the coaches. I think we're tired of – so now we've moved to the referees. I think that's where the fans are at right now.
Either way, you've lost your last 7 games, and you're not going to win a game the rest of the season.
Here's the reality in sports, and this is true at most levels. The bigger games, the games with more leverage, the games with the most importance, guess what they get, Ty?
You tell me.
The best referees. The bigger games get the better crews. And when you had 2 0-for teams. I mean, do you really think the SEC is going to assign their best crew,
yeah,
to 2 teams that haven't won a game?
That's fair.
I mean, that's true at a lot. And listen, this is the same crew that had the Auburn-Oklahoma game and had the hideout played and went uncalled.
Except Ken Williamson's not the.
This wasn't Ken Williams.
Different.
This was
crew.
Jeff Heeser. This was their crew. They're not horrible. I don't think the SEC has any horrible crews. And when people say the officiating's horrible, I don't think you understand. But there were some inconsistencies, and I thought the management of the game could have been much better.
All right, Bruce Stan's going to be on with us momentarily. Kurt Herbstreit had some interesting thoughts about the current. I don't know if I want to call it a saga, but whatever Lane Kiffin is mulling over within staying in Oxford, potentially taking another college job. The Miami Dolphins job is going to come open at the end of the season if he has any other pro aspirations to get back in the NFL. And I thought his comments were interesting.
What's wrong with coaching at Indiana in 2025? What's wrong with coaching at Ole Miss? What's wrong with coaching at Vandy? Like, I don't know. I mean, if you got the resources to put a staff together and pay your players, why not coach there and not deal with not sleeping at night because you're not going to win 11 games? And if you don't win 11, Ryan Day had a 24-hour armed guard at his house last year after he lost to Michigan because of his own fans.
This is the opening drive.
All right, well, welcome in Bruce Stan, Pratco Fishing via the Lewis Automotive Group hotline in the conversation. Tommy, do you think Arkansas has helped if Lane Kiffin takes the LSU or Florida job and the Ole Miss job comes open? I mean, how does Arkansas benefit if he stays put? If you're choosing one way or another, is it if he stays put or if he moves jobs and then the Ole Miss job comes open? What do you think is better for Arkansas in terms of suitable candidates that could wind up in Fayetteville?
I think Lane Kiffin's a problem whether he's at Ole Miss or whether he's at LSU. I think if he goes to LSU, he's going to win a national title.
I'm not talking, but I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about for the job candidates open that could potentially wind up at Fayetteville. Like what would be better for Arkansas? Does that create more? It obviously would create more dominoes effect. Because you're right. I mean, if he goes to LSU, I think he would be on track to win a national championship. They've only lost 1 game. They're going to the playoff this year, barring a collapse. So maybe he could still win one this year. But just from a bring it to Fayetteville, and Bruce, you can hop in on this too.
I do believe I do believe a portion of the SEC openings are going to be filled with current SEC coaches. And I don't think any of those jobs that are going to come open are behind Arkansas in the pecking order. So regardless of whether it's Lane Kiffin or another coach in this league, I think it's a problem for Arkansas. The question is, how much risk do you want to take in your next hire? Are you willing to go young? And really, is there any true financial backing behind any one candidate that can make a difference in NIL? Those are the things. That last part's the one we really don't have the answer to. And if you knew there was a candidate, whether it's Bobby or someone else, that could bring in a boatload of NIL money, that's who you go with, because you got to have a great quarterback next year, and you got to have enough money to go hire an entire defensive team and defensive staff. So you got to be able to, Bruce, you got to be able to pay players to come play on defense, because clearly Arkansas is beyond just low budget this year on defense.
Well, the Kiffin thing really doesn't matter, because if he leaves Ole Miss is a better job than Arkansas. If he doesn't leave Ole Miss, Florida and LSU are better jobs than Arkansas. So it really doesn't matter because you're not going to get the guy those two guys are going to get anyway. And I think Signetti at Indiana has kind of dispelled the myth. You got to have a young guy with energy and an up-and-comer. I mean, they gave a 64-year-old guy $100 million because he won 10 straight games last year, and he's done it again this year. And, you know, the guy knows how to run a program. He did it at JMU. He's done it everywhere he's been. And I think there are people out there like that. You just got to get the right one. You can't get the wrong one because then you go through this again for 3 or 4 years, which is what a lot of schools like Tennessee and Auburn and Arkansas, Mississippi State keep falling into. But, you know, the Kiffin thing, Ty, it doesn't matter where he goes because those 3 jobs, they're above Arkansas anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, and real quick before we get into our Pradco Pyramid of Power, Bruce, I want your thoughts this weekend. Oklahoma goes into Knoxville, wins that game. I've seen some Tennessee fans say that Heupel's not the guy. There's not any reason to think that he would leave or that they would do anything with his contract, is there? Well,
this kind of goes back to what Kiffin was saying about Ryan Day and his own fans. I mean, I love Tennessee, but, man, some of my fans are idiots. I mean, this guy has an identity. He's got the high-scoring offense in college football. He's proven it for like 7 straight years at 2 schools. And, you know, yeah, you've lost some games this year because you've had a lot of injuries. Your defense isn't that good. Your quarterback likes throwing picks. We knew that coming in. Then people are on chat boards saying, well, Heupel's the problem. Well, no, he's not the problem. We're relevant, went to the playoffs, been ranked all year, still ranked. You know, you're Tennessee. You're not Alabama or Georgia, and you need to get used to that. But, you know, fans, you get a little bit of success, and they just think they're going to win the national championship all of a sudden, and they just need to pump the brakes a little bit. That's all they need to do.
Well, we have the college football playoff rankings that come out tonight. Prior to that, we're going to hear what the Pradco Pyramid of Power sounds like. So, Tommy, why don't you get it rolling this morning?
All right, Pradco Pyramid of Power. Let's get started at the top. They were off this past weekend. I've still got Alabama number 1. They're ranked 4th in the country. They take on LSU this week. Has been a huge game that's the SEC's pivoted off previously. It's Alabama remaining at the top of the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Yeah, I still got A&M. They're undefeated conference, undefeated overall. They're coming off an open date just like the Tide. Big game at Missouri. And, you know, they still got a big game with Texas at the end of the year, sandwiched around games by South Carolina and Stanford. So I think they got a chance to run the table, but I got them ranked number 1.
All right, so you got A&M 1. I've got A&M 2. Do you have Bama 2?
I got Bama 2.
All right, so we flip-flop 1 and 2. I just don't trust A&M. We'll find out. You know, I think Missouri, obviously, with the injury to their quarterback, is a whole different conversation. So Bama and A&M 1 and 2, we got them flipped in ours. I got Georgia at number 3, 5th ranked in the country. They're at Starkville, a tricky place to play. I got Georgia 5-1 in the league at number 3 in the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Yeah, I think that's an upset alert game. Georgia's been just good enough to win a lot of these games, like Florida and Tennessee at the end of the game. But I don't know. Kind of like against Alabama. I think in these next few games, maybe against Texas, maybe against Mississippi State, maybe against Georgia Tech, I think they're going to lose one of those.
Ole Miss at number 4 for me. They take on the Citadel this week. Ole Miss is 8-1, ranked 7th. I got them at number 4.
I agree. Number 4, they should run the table, but they still got to play Florida and Mississippi State. And, you know, they've dropped games like that before.
Yeah, beat South Carolina this past weekend. I know Texas beat OU head up, but I like the eye test says OU's better. They got a bye week this week, but I got Oklahoma after their win this weekend at number 5. They're 7-2, 3-2 in the league. Right there on that fringe. Can't afford another loss and still make the playoff, but I've got OU at number 5. They've got Bama, Missouri, and LSU. They win those games down the stretch, and they're definitely going to be in the playoff. Oklahoma at number 5.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to win all those games. But I got Texas. They beat Oklahoma head-to-head. Looked really good for 3/4 of the game versus Vanderbilt, then hung on. But like the way Texas has responded since stubbing their toes a few times. I got them number 5.
Texas has been the reverse of Arkansas. They found ways to win games close, where Arkansas has found every way to lose every game close. I got Texas at number 6. They're on a bye week, then they get Georgia, so they'll have a chance to take their stock up against a top 5 team. So I round out my top 6 with Texas.
Yeah, and then I got Oklahoma number 6. Yeah. They got an open date. And then probably one of the few times in my life I'll root for Alabama. I hope they destroy Oklahoma.
All right, so I got Alabama 1, A&M 2. Me and Bruce flip-flop. Georgia and Ole Miss, we agree on at 3 and 4. Then we flip-flop 5 and 6. I got Oklahoma first and Texas. Bruce has it just the opposite. Ty, where are we right? And where are we wrong in our Pradco Pyramid of Power?
I would probably agree about still not 100% trusting A&M, even though they went to Death Valley. Alabama won 4 straight games against top opponents, and then they fended off South Carolina right before their bye. I think they're going to beat LSU this weekend, so I would have them at the top. That Georgia-Texas game is going to be huge. There's a bunch of big games. And Ole Miss, I mean, barring a complete collapse, they're heading to the college football playoff under Kiffin for the first time ever. So. Yeah.
All right, so that's our Pradco Pyramid of Power. Vandy, Tennessee, Missouri just on the outside. Vandy takes on Auburn this week. Tennessee's on the bye, and Missouri, as we mentioned, plays A&M. So it's amazing. You got A&M at 3, Bama at 4, Georgia at 5, Ole Miss at 7, Oklahoma at 11, Texas at 13, all in our Pradco Pyramid. That's where they're at in the poll. I'll be interested to see how any of that lines up, Bruce, with tonight's first college football ranking that we get to see. All right, we got some great weather this week. I know, anytime you can fish in short sleeves in November, that's a win for everybody.
Well, if you fish, think to pre-spawn. I mean, the water's in the 50s and 60s at all our lakes, rivers, and creeks around here. So in the morning, like I got to Lake Fort Smith Friday at 8 a.m., it was 35 degrees. By the time it was 11, it was 62, and the fish were biting. And, I'd use a lot of baits that I use pre-spawn. I'd use like a rattle bait, like an Booyah XR50. I would use a double willow spinner bait, like a Booyah blade. And then crankbaits were real good choices, like a Bomber 6A and brown crawdad or candy apple red. I'd fish, relatively shallow banks. If you can find water down to about 12 feet, there's chunk rock, there's points, there's laydowns. Fish are going to be moving up around that stuff as the temperature warms up. But this will be a great week. We've got a big cold front coming through Monday next week. So, if you need some time off this week, Dr. Y.N. Stanton will write the permission slip. And we do have an open date for Arkansas. You can go fish in the morning, maybe go deer hunting in the afternoon, and then watch the Hogs beat Michigan State and East Lansing and just have a full day outside and inside.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. It's good fishing weather still this time of the year. Bruce Stan, Pradco Fishing. Good stuff as always, Bruce, and we'll chat next week.
All right, talk to y'all.
All right, still a lot to get to. Hog Update. We're going to hear from John Calipari when we return on the Morning Rush.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. If you're going to do some cold water bass fishing, you need to be using an Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. It's the best lure for duplicating a small school of shad and can be worked from the top of the water column to the bottom. Whether you're trying to win a bass tournament or whoop up on a bunch of white bass and stripers, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. will catch them. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Umbrella Flash Mob Jr.
I tried one time in Fayetteville, Arkansas. It didn't go too well. Wound up getting arrested.
This is the Morning Rush.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
How could I possibly be expected to handle work on a day like this? Take a day off and check out the certified pre-owned rides at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car and upgrade to the road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle of your choice and get state sales tax paid. So choice. I highly recommend picking one up. Life moves pretty fast, so stop and look around at Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautoportsmith.com. You're still here? The ad's over.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to warm up your winter with the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Charbroiled 100% Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft buttery sourdough. And our new grilled cheese breakfast sandwich with sausage or bacon and a fried egg. Cozy up to the goodness of the new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich. For a limited time, only at Hardee's. Cinnamon raisin biscuits are back. Unwrap them while you can. Only for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Want pavement protection that goes the distance? Seal-Tite of Oklahoma now offers Rhino-Tite Premium Asphalt Emulsified Sealant, the next level in driveway and parking lot care. Healthier for the environment, Rhino-Tite delivers superior defense against weather, UV rays, and wear and tear. With its high solids content, you'll get a smoother, stronger, longer-lasting driving surface. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a contractor buying in bulk, Seal-Tite has the products and support you need. Visit SealTiteOklahoma.com today and protect your pavement with Rhino-Tite.
When a business has been around more than 65 years, you know they're doing something right. Hey, Ty Richardson for Johnny's Transmission. They've been trusted in Fort Smith and the River Valley since 1959. Located at 1212 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, they strive to make every customer's experience outstanding and want your vehicle to be in the best condition for the road ahead. Check out their website, johnnystransmissionfs.com, and find them on Facebook. Johnny's Transmission, family owned and operated since 1959.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4.
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those.
7 down.
This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
Everybody, Woo Big Suey. This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
As I told him last night, we have 8 starters. We literally have 8 starters. Might be 7 after today that I look at. There's probably 7 starters. But whoever comes off the bench ends up getting like the most shots and the most minutes. So I don't know why you'd worry about it. But if you're in 8th grade, oh, you worry about starting. When you're in 8th grade, You got to start, and then you got to score a lot of points, so they put it in the newspaper, so they're talking about your points because that's all they put in the newspaper. That's not what this is, and these kids understand it.
Starting lineup looked a little differently last night due to the fact that Carter Knox did not play. We'll hear about his status for this upcoming game against Michigan State. Don't know if he's going to be ready or not, according to Cal, but I think it is encouraging, Tommy, to see those 8 guys he's talking about that have had success, especially the 2 freshmen and Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas, and the guys are fitting their roles nicely, at least through these first 3 games.
Yeah, and Carter Knox didn't play last night. There's an injury there. He talked about, if Carter can practice today, tomorrow, and Friday, maybe he plays Saturday, but that, it didn't sound like that was certain by any stretch of the imagination by the way Coach Cal laid it out last night. But, there's another really powerful weapon for Arkansas that wasn't there last night in a 109-point performance. So I think paring it down to 8 may be tough. I mean, last night you had a very good lineup. Malik Thomas is essentially a starter. I mean, sounds like Seeley, just because of experience, may not get as many minutes as maybe he was hoping. He's extremely talented. I think it says a lot, and Cal kind of alluded to this last night. It says a lot about this team when a guy as talented as Seeley's not going to probably get as many minutes as he would have in a normal situation.
It's got a long way to go. We love the kid, but defensively, coming up with balls, knowing where he's supposed to be, he's just behind the other guys that way. But he is talented. He's going to have opportunities. Hopefully Carter plays this weekend, which means it'll limit his opportunities. But if Carter doesn't play, then you're going to play some.
So I'm glad you went there, because for Isaiah, if he wants to factor in the rotation, which it's probably going to be whittled down to 7 or 8 guys by the time March rolls around, he has to make the most out of like last night when Carter's out, or if he doesn't play against Michigan State, even if it's 5 minutes, Tommy. And that doesn't mean you have to necessarily score 10 points in 5 minutes, but filling up the stat sheet, not turning the ball over, getting those loose balls that Cal was talking about, making a play for another. Because you're not going to look to Isaiah Seeley as the guy that's going to score 15 in any given night, but you just want to play if you're a true freshman and by any means necessary for that kid. 17
minutes, 12 points, 3 rebounds. 6 of 6 at the free throw line. This is a team that shot the free throws very well last night, 25 of 29. I hope this is a trend that continues, because Arkansas is going to go to the rim a lot. They're going to drive inside. We're already seeing that's the way this team's going to be. They're going to get fouled a lot, and making free throws is going to be critical for this team. And last night they were very good at the free throw line.
Something to watch with Arkansas.
Including Seeley.
Yeah, something to watch with Arkansas's big men is Pringle and Malik Ewan, how they shoot. Ewan only took 2 free throws last night, made them both, and Nick Pringle didn't. Pringle's not a great free throw shooter, neither is Ewan. So if Arkansas ends up going small late, that's going to be one of the reasons why, because they feel like they can knock down free throws and keeping their traditional 5 out of there.
8 and 8 for Pringle. That's kind of pedestrian right there, particularly in a game like last night. 4 of 7. He didn't get fouled at all. Committed 3 fouls, which is better. Didn't turn it over any, but Arkansas, let's see, shot 51% essentially from the floor, and we mentioned 48 paint points. But it seems like a guy of his size in a matchup like that, he had 25 minutes essentially. Does 8 rebounds sound a little light, or am I being a little over?
Well, TV had what, 11 or 12.
He had 11.
I hold that point, because we gotta hit a break, but I do want to touch on that, because Cal kind of alluded to what Pringle does outside of just rebounding. All right, that is your Hog Updates, brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8 Sparky.
It was National Sandwich Day yesterday, Tommy. Did you partake in National Sandwich Day?
No.
No?
I had to think about it for a minute. No.
I had peanut butter and jelly for lunch.
I had a Reuben yesterday. That might be my favorite sandwich. We asked our buddy David Rath of Rath Auto Resources and Rath Mitsubishi. David, what's your go-to sandwich? PB&J, grilled cheese. What's the number one sandwich out there for you?
You know what I've been getting lately? I don't know if I'd call it like my all-time favorite, but the one I'm really digging on right now, getting a Cuban a lot.
Cuban.
Or Cubano, however you want to say it. I guess depending on which menu you're looking at. But, yeah, kind of leaning on those right now.
Little mustard. And what kind of meat is that again? forget.
Yeah, it's got
It's a combination, right?
yeah, it's a combination of stuff. It's like sometimes you get like pulled pork on there, and then a couple other things. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Well, I know he's always got a combination of vehicles at Rath Auto Resources in Rath, Mitsubishi. It was state sales tax paid at the end of last month when you trade in. What's going on in here in the month of November, man, as we get closer to Christmas time?
Well, we actually just decided to extend that promo. So Mitsubishi extended their stuff from October into November. So we kind of figured we'd follow suit with that too. So we're doing the state sales tax paid with trade-ins at both stores. So that's on Road Ready Certified Pre-Owned and on the new cars here at the Mitsubishi store. So you've got a chance to save really a lot of money on the new cars in particular, because you can stack Mitsubishi's incentives on top of ours. So yeah, whether you pick a pre-owned vehicle at either lot, dude, we're shuffling cars around like crazy today. I got people driving up from Fort Smith up here to Springdale. We're moving all kinds of stuff back and forth. So if you've been shopping at either place locally, you're going to see a whole lot of new stuff here by the end of the day, because a lot of the stuff that was down in Fort Smith will be here and vice versa. But we're doing the state sales tax paid trade-ins, and on the new cars, they kept the 0% for 60 months offer with approved credit going, and the highest rebate I've seen, if you got the Conquest or loyalty rebate along with a regular rebate, was like $5,500 off of a certain trim level and stuff. So a lot of different ways to save a lot of money, kind of depending on whichever way you want to go, whether you're looking at new or used.
Perfect time to get that Christmas gift done early. That's Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale and Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith. David, get you another Cuban today, man. That sounds good. I might have to try one of those.
Probably gonna, man. That sounds good, doesn't it?
All right. Good stuff. We can get more into basketball. There's a few things I want to get into with Auburn football as well. John Cohen's kind of already been talking about how they're going to go on. How does that apply to what Hunter Yurachek is going to do here in Fayetteville with the Arkansas football job and everything going on? We'll get into all that as we continue on the Morning Rush.
That stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanAR.com or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. If you're going to do some cold water bass fishing, you need to be using an Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. It's the best lure for duplicating a small school of shad and can be worked from the top of the water column to the bottom. Whether you're trying to win a bass tournament or whoop up on a bunch of white bass and stripers, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. will catch them. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr.
You trying to get me fined? This is the Morning Rush.
How could I possibly be expected to handle work on a day like this? Take a day off and check out the certified pre-owned rides at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car and upgrade to the Road Ready certified pre-owned vehicle of your choice and get state sales tax paid. So choice. I highly recommend picking one up. Life moves pretty fast, so stop and look around at Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com. You're still here? The ad's over.
Get ready, Fort Smith. Hometown Market Days is coming to the Fort Smith Convention Center November 7th and 8th. Come shop and find all your Christmas must-haves, from trendy boutique to handmade gifts, vintage treasures, sweet treats, and more. Doors open each day at 10 a.m., and the first 25 shoppers score amazing swag bags. Bring all your friends and family and your honey. It's shopping time and holiday vibes at Hometown Market Days. See you November 7th and 8th.
It's always good to be home for the holidays. So if you are currently looking for a different rental, or you're new to the area and looking for your first rental in the River Valley, Marshall's Management has you covered. Apartments, duplexes, and single-family homes are all part of Marshall's rental inventory. And currently, Marshall's is offering holiday specials with big discounts on first month's rent and signing gifts to help you enjoy the holidays in your new home. Check out availability at marshallsrentals.com and get your unit picked out before they're all gone.
Are you an electrician that's looking for a smaller, non-corporate job? Well, I'm here in studio with Sloan Walker of Sloan Electric. Sloan, what do you currently have open?
2 journeyman spots open and a 4th-year apprentice. If you have 1 to 2 years experience with those, you'd be a great fit for my company. We do residential, commercial, and industrial installs. Normal working hours are 8 to 4:30, so you can focus on your home life outside of your career. Best way to get in contact with me is just give me a phone call or text at 479-461-4302. Sloan Electric. We can power up together.
Hey Razorback fans, Matt Jones here. We're all experiencing higher prices on just about everything, and that includes sunrooms, patio covers, and windows. If you've gotten an estimate on any of these projects and you were shocked by the price, then you need to call Sawyers. They've been making quality, affordable products for 35 years. They're local, they have 100% financing, and a beautiful showroom with all their products displayed. So give my buddy Buzz a call or check them out, sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Hey drivers, got a reefer on the fritz or a trailer that needs some TLC? Roll into High Tech Truck Refrigeration Service in Van Buren, your one-stop, full-service, semi-truck and trailer repair facility, proudly serving you for over 30 years. At High Tech Truck, they do it all: DOTs, preventative maintenance, structural repairs, and expert reefer service. Fast, reliable, and driver approved. Call High Tech Truck today at 479-474-2220. Keep your wheels and your freight moving. High Tech Truck, proud sponsors of Arkansas football.
Have you had Cheerwine yet? The cherry flavor soda has had people coming back since 1917. This is RD with Platinum Distributing. We help bring Cheerwine to the River Valley for you to try. Nothing goes with food like Cheerwine. Burgers, barbecue, pizza, you name it. Okay, now we're hungry and thirsty. Cheerwine is a one-of-a-kind soft drink with a unique cherry taste that has been delighting Southerners for more than a century. Pick up Cheerwine at your local Jam Mart, Harps, and other fine establishments. Cheerwine, uniquely Southern since 1917.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Time for the Carpat Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
Hogs are off to a 1-0 start after a 109-77 win over Southern University last night. 3 players go north of 20 points in the ball game. Trevin Brazil, 25 points, 11 rebounds, played 28 minutes in the ball game. Made 8 of his 10 free throw attempts last night. Only turned the ball over once, had an assist to go along with it. I know it's early, and we've been able to lay eyes on this team in the preseason, in the exhibition games, which I think count for more than they ever have before. But here's the Morning Rush Daily Question. Is Trevin Brazil the best player on this basketball team? And is it even close?
I still think it's going to end up being Carter. Carter's the most NBA hyped player on this team. Carter's taking a back seat, in my opinion, to let the freshman get going. And if I had to guess, Cal's probably told him to. He knows what Carter's capable of. He knows what he's improved on in the offseason. Trevin is the most in 6'10", and he can absolutely jump out of the gym, and he made plays last night that we're going to see hopefully consistently throughout the season. But I still think the best all-around player is Carter Knox.
Okay. I think it's interesting to see how Brazil has evolved his game over the last couple of years. This is a guy that, was iffy whether he was going to be on the team at all when Cal came in. And actually left, entered the portal, came back, and to see where he's at now. You talk about the best decision maybe of his professional life and in his basketball life. That was hanging here at Arkansas and not moving on to another opportunity, maybe even for a bigger payday. I think it's panning out well for TB at this point.
Yeah, I just like his aggressiveness that we've seen.
Acuff gets the long rebound, drives Thomas in the corner. 3 no good. Brazils follows up and in and one.
And you were talking about Pringle's rebounds earlier. I think that Trevin's going to take some of those away from whether it's him or Ewan. And Arkansas just has a long lineup, whether it's Billy Richmond or Carter Knox. Cal's going to want his team's gang rebounding. That wasn't a strength of them last year. You're going to see some guys, I think, that are better in that area this upcoming season. But, yeah, Trevin's going to be a huge part of this team. We saw what happened, what this team was without him. His first year here at Arkansas, they took a step back, and it took a while for them to get going. So you just hope that he stays healthier throughout the year.
To me, it seems like he's trying to rely a lot less on that athleticism, which is what we kind of saw when he first came to Arkansas, and now he's sort of polished his game. Big credit to Kenny Payne for helping the big man get a little bit better down low and developing some real skill at the low block.
25 and 11, but I think here's the number inside the numbers that needs to be focused on. He committed 0 fouls, but you know how many times he was fouled last night? 7. Arkansas got fouled 20 times as a team. He had 7 of those. So obviously got his opportunities at the free throw line, 8 of 10 there. But that's how important he is. He's going to be the rim attacker in a lot of ways in addition to your guards. But drew 7 of the 20 fouls last night to lead him to the 25 and 11.
Yeah, when he wants to play, he's just a hard guard because if you put a smaller wing on him, he's going to out-athleticism, and if you put a taller guy on him, then he's going to be able to get by him and hopefully get some rebounds. Hopefully he'll be a matchup problem. Brandon, our buddy from the Fence Man, texting in thinking it's Carter Knox. Here's the good thing about all this. It's a conversation. Like, there's not a definitive A1, this is the alpha of the team. We mentioned Darius having a freshman debut, first half career high with 20. Malik's poured in, I think, 20-plus the last 2 games. We know what Carter Knox is capable of. Just ask some teams in the NCAA tournament like Texas Tech, and I think it was St. John's that did a good game against. So there are a lot of guys on this team that can give you 20-plus. Now, is it going to be consistent from each and every one of them? That's, again, we'll wait and see. We'll find a lot more about this team in East Lansing this Saturday in the Breslin Center.
Here's what I still see with this team, and it's early, so we may adjust these opinions, but there's enough weapons. We saw a team last night without Carter Knox, but I think you're a matchup problem no matter what the matchups are. And I don't think there's a team that I've seen yet, and it's going to be interesting when you get to Florida, who struggled with Arizona last night. When you get to the upper crust of this league, how these matchups work. But I don't really see Arkansas having too many holes where, hey, boy, when we play Alabama, we don't have anyone to go inside matchup. Man, when we play this group of guards in Florida, well, we can't match up there. So I think whether it's front court or back court, Arkansas's got the lineup ability and the rotations to match up with anybody. That's what I like. Is I don't see a ton of holes that, man, when you get against this kind of team, it's going to be a problem for Arkansas. The only hole I've seen so far is the ability to deal with the press, and I think they'll get that, the full court press, and I think they'll get that figured out.
All right, that's your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. You got some football to get into coming up. Cart Pass Social, great place you could watch football this weekend while the Hogs are off in football. You can watch the basketball game there this Saturday night. You can watch college football all day. NFL Sunday, take advantage of that. It's a great place for Christmas parties. This could be birthday parties, team building exercises, end-of-year parties, all at Cart Pass Social, the #1 indoor golf facility in Arkansas, 122 Grant Place in Lowell. Go to cartpasssocial.com. It is always BYOB at Cart Pass Social. So we'll spend some more time with basketball coming up. Tom Murphy's set to join us at the top of the 10 o'clock hour. I didn't want to get into I saw this from On3, Tommy. John Cohen is the athletics director for Auburn. And he said in a statement to On3 that he is the committee. They don't know if they're going to do a search firm yet, not when it comes to the hiring of the next Auburn football coach. What is the right way to go about hiring a football coach here in Arkansas? Should Hunter be the only one that has the final say? Should it be a collective group effort? Like I was reading that and I was like, I wonder what it actually looks like here in Fayetteville when it comes to our next head coach.
Oh, I think it's a group effort at Arkansas. I don't think there's one right answer. It depends on the institution, but I think it's a group effort at Arkansas. The right answer is your AD should be the sole committee if your AD's on solid footing and has enough credit built up. I don't think Arkansas's in that situation. So, I mean, But the perfect situation is the man in charge or the woman in charge of your athletic department should be making that final call. I don't think that's the situation here at Arkansas, just reading the tea leaves.
Okay. All right. To continue this on, the college football playoff first rankings are coming out tonight. Hunter is on that committee. Is it we were talking about him going to New York or whatever during the midst of the football season and whatnot? This was a job he's had. Is it a bad look that he's doing this while the football conversation is still going on? Does he need to drop out of this? Is that something that's stupid? Like I had someone text me this. It's like, why is Hunter doing this? He doesn't need to be a part of this. They need to be 100% focused on the football search. What do you think about that?
Well, I think he made a commitment, and I don't think it's so time consuming that it eliminates enough of your time that you can't conduct the search. This is the first rankings. Here we are into November. But, man, this is the year 2025. We have Zoom meetings. We have the ability to meet virtually. You can watch this radio show on your phone. So I think we overblow that. I mean, do we expect him to be making calls and working on this 24/7? Probably some do. But he also has an athletic department to run. So I think that point is a little bit overblown, and it also points to me that he's not the sole committee. He's not doing this by himself, and I think there are others involved.
Seth and Rogers says, does Hunter have phone service like you kind of were alluding to? That's all he needs. The reason
You're not having face-to-face meetings on a coaching search till the very end. So I don't think it really matters whether he's in where do they do these meetings? Grapevine, Texas?
Yeah, it's right outside of Dallas.
So whether he's there on a short nonstop flight, because I remember when Jeff Long was on this, I'm sure Hunter's the same way. They fly commercial. He'll fly XNA down there to DFW, and they'll take him over to the hotel. Mm-hmm. I mean, I believe his phone and his computer will work from there. So I don't think this is nearly as big a deal, and it puts him in the room with some people that have connections.
And that was
But people want him locked in a room with a big stack of papers, with his glasses pulled way down low, looking over every single possible head coach that could be a candidate.
Yeah, we want coaches to watch film 24/7. That's a fan take. So, that's what fans think are happening. They think that, you're down there, at the mill 25 hours a day. That's just not the way it is.
You actually led me in a direction that I was going to counter with for that person that texted me. It's like, wouldn't you want to be in a room with, and I can't remember 100% who's on the committee. I should have looked that up, but with some college football minds and connections that could potentially lead you into another. So there is the flip side, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure he has to be there every Saturday watching college football. I believe that's correct. Or a good.
Well, he doesn't have any here to watch, so he might as well be there watching it because there's none in Fayetteville to watch.
And again, what?
You just want him rubbing elbows with. He's running it by Jeff Long, who he should hire right up there at the committee meetings.
Isn't Jeff back there?
Jeff, he's on the committee.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
he's in a fill-in role for someone.
Okay, I forgot they added that back in the offseason. I think we're just antsy because we're still not going to know an answer for about a month. So any little detail or any little thing that's done by whether it's Hunter or we see something or there's a plane, I think all Arkansas fans, and I would put myself in this, are just ready for a resolution. We're ready for this thing to be decided one way or another. And we're probably, if we're going to be completely honest, we're probably not going to like the answer. Like I honestly don't, as we continue down this road and this progress, I don't think there is going to be a hire and a resolution that the majority of our fan base wanted like Cal. It's
like your taxes. You want them done quick and early, or you want them done right? I don't want my coaching search done quick. I want it done right. So let's quit worrying about when this is going to be done, when we get some let's get this thing and this process done correctly. Hey, it's Taco Tuesday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. $1 tacos today. All day, crunchy beef or chicken tacos. You can get some sides to go with that for a low price as well. So $1 tacos today on Taco Tuesday. No ball game this weekend, but when the Hogs play, it's half-price apps and taps. Half-price apps and cheap taps at Joe's Grill and Cantina, so you can do that every game day. Half-price apps and cheap taps at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps. That's Joe's Grill and Cantina. Hard to believe it's November, Ty, the 4th day. It's No Shave November. I know you're doing No Shave November. How's that going? You can beard up and help raise awareness for the Arkansas Prostate Cancer Foundation. How's that beard coming along?
It's slowly but surely. It's best I can.
All right, so help men fight prostate cancer right here in Arkansas. Grow it, post it, tag it with hashtag NoShaveAPCF. Join the challenge at arprostatecancer.org.
Hour 2 headed your way. Tom Murphy's going to join us, get his thoughts on Arkansas basketball last night, some of the coaching stuff, and Michelle got in the Hugh Freeze report from John Talty of CBS Sports and what was apparently preoccupying his time when he was in Auburn. All that's coming up in Hour 2.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. If you're going to do some cold water bass fishing, you need to be using an Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. It's the best lure for duplicating a small school of shad and can be worked from the top of the water column to the bottom. Whether you're trying to win a bass tournament or whoop up on a bunch of white bass and stripers, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. will catch them. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Umbrella Flash Mob Jr.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with RUSH25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
This is the Morning Rush.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Yeager's Ace Hardware is helping our customers kick off the holidays with a big thank you. November 1st and 2nd, Ace Rewards members receive 20% off regularly priced items. Get more details in the store or on your Ace Rewards app. Plus, now through December 1st, Yeager's is offering Black Friday savings every day, all month long, to everyone. Save on hundreds of items and get a $10 gift card with your $50 purchase. Why wait for Black Friday savings when you can get it at all 5 Yeager's locations through December 1st? Yeager's Ace Hardware. Real help, real savings.
Contractors, you know the right equipment makes all the difference. That's why you choose LG HVAC systems. Innovative, efficient, and built to perform. And at J&B Supply, we're more than just a supplier. Since 1968, our family-owned business has provided HVAC and plumbing pros with the products, expert service, and hands-on training to get the job done right. Check out the buzz around LG's new game-changing equipment today. For over 50 years, HVAC and plumbing pros have trusted J&B Supply in Fort Smith, Springdale, and Bentonville. J&B Supply, where the professionals go.
Every long relationship needs a little heat.
Spark, to keep things exciting. Something bold, unexpected, saucy. Hold on, not that. We're talking about your relationship with crispy chicken, and Taco Bell just spiced it up. 2 crispy chicken strips wrapped in a tortilla dripping with Frank's Red Hot Diablo sauce. Hotter, crunchier. Can you stop it, please? Crispy chicken from Taco Bell, a brand new classic. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for participation which varies. Frank's Red Hot is a registered trademark of the French's Food Company, LLC, and used under license by Taco Bell.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
The season of giving is here. This is Colton Little with ESPN Arkansas, and we're partnering with C2 Supply in Poto, Oklahoma, and we want you to join us for a special cause. Come by Poto Chamber of Commerce this Friday, November 7th from 11:30 to 1:30 for C2 Supply's drive-through fundraiser for the Poto Community Holiday Dinners. Lunch will be served starting at 11:30, and as you go through, cash donations will help provide Thanksgiving and Christmas meals for all local families in need. So drive through and grab lunch, then give from the heart. Together, let's make sure everyone has a place and a meal at the table this holiday season. ESPN Arkansas and C2 Supply, making a difference this holiday season with your heart of giving.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, blue sky, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be into the lower 70s. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, and overnight low will drop down to upper 40s to low 50s. Wednesday, blue sky, lots of sunshine. Our high on Wednesday, right around 75. Thursday, sunny skies. Our high, low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'd like to take an opportunity. Woo! To blow the whistle.
So even if one doesn't start and the other starts the second half, whatever I do, I need to have at least 20 minutes of them together.
Thomas with a rebound. Outlet, Acuff, 3-ball, good. Thomas out of the corner, and Malik just drained another 3.
If he is an NBA player, it doesn't matter if you're old or young. You won't believe this. The NBA is not saying we want old guys.
Hogs on a run out. Brazil throws it down.
Are you good enough to be in that league? Then you got an opportunity. He looks the part. Now he's just got to keep doing it.
Brazil at the foul line drives the basket, throws it down with 2 hands. Arkansas runs wild on Southern University on opening night in Fayetteville. A 32-point victory.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Fush. With Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. And produced by Colton Little. This is The Morning Rush.
So the Razorbacks won handily last night, their first real game of the college basketball season. It's going to get a lot tougher this Saturday against the Michigan State Spartans. Tommy, I don't know if you caught Tom Izzo last night.
Better, and I didn't think we played very well. So a lot of work to do, and we're going to get our ass embarrassed on Saturday. And maybe that's good. It's good to have that pressure on us.
Cal didn't exactly say that following their performance, but you could tell he wasn't the most pleased he's been following a Razorback win, despite it being 32 points.
I think it was defensively. I mean, when you score 109 points, I don't think I think offensively he liked where the team was at. I think he wants a little more effort and a little more production out of the defense. So I mean, just listening to his 15 minutes or so last night, I think if there was any sign of where they'll focus the next 3 days, I think it's on the defensive end.
Well, the positive things, you really got to start with the 2 freshmen, Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas.
They need to be on the floor together 20 minutes at least. I mean, it's pretty obvious, would you say? I mean, if anybody watched. So they need to be out there. So even if one doesn't start and the other starts the second half, whatever I do, I need to have at least 20 minutes of them together.
Darius didn't score in the second half till I think like 10-plus minutes in. They end up combining for 43 points. Cool to see both those guys again stepping up in their first 3 games. And I'll go back to something I said earlier. I don't have any insight on this, but it's just kind of a guess. I know Carter was injured, didn't play last night. We'll see about his status for Saturday. I think you want to get those freshmen going, Tommy. You want their confidence level to be high. It's not always going to be like that during SEC play when they struggle, and those freshman year struggles are bound to come. It's not going to be a flawless freshman season. So I think that has been intentional for Cal to get those young guys going early and as many touches as possible.
I don't disagree with that. And now these are the type of games where you can get them those touches and kind of get them indoctrinated into what a real game's like. I mean, you can play Memphis and you can play Cincy and you can do these exhibition games. Man, when that win or loss goes on the record, it's just different. So I mean, even last night against an opponent that's not of the same name as those exhibition opponents, it was different. If you missed Cal's press conference following the game, all of those are there for you at the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell. Just download the app. You can go to the YouTube button at the bottom. You can watch our show live. You can watch all the press conferences. Everything's there for you. You can listen live at any time or on demand. The Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell. If you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, Taco Bell has you covered. It's the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell.
Real quick note before we get to Tom. I had several people text me that were in attendance last night. Just want to remind, we've got a lot of listeners, right? And we've got season ticket holders that listen to the show. Some of you couldn't make last night's game. Tommy, you mentioned you were trying to give them away on social media last night, and I reached out to a couple people, just weren't able to go. You can always contact us. We want to get these games as filled up as possible. We're not going to sell it. We're not going to make money on it. We just want to make sure people can go. So you can always use the Lewis Automotive Group hotline at 877-377-6963. And again, it's first game of the season. There's probably a little bit of a lapse from Saturday's football loss. I don't know, they're two different sports, but just want to. I hope the tickets that people have this season are going to get used as much as they can throughout the year.
Well, you paid a lot for them. Somebody might as well have their butt in that seat, right? Yeah. So you've paid a whole lot of money to have them. Let somebody use them if you can.
Mm-hmm. That's my thought on that. All right, let's talk to our buddy Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette.
We got something called beef. B-E-E-F.
This hour of the Morning Rush is presented by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
What's again? Beef. Yeah, you just asked me that question, really?
Tommy asked us in the first hour who the best player on the team was, and he thought it was Trevin Brazile. I thought it was Carter Knox, and kind of sporadic answers. I would think it's pretty nice to kind of have a few guys that you can list through these first two exhibition games and the first official game last night that Cal's got several options for offensive weapons this upcoming season.
Yeah, I'm a little bit skeptical whenever I see these rankings of the best freshmen and whatever, but here comes Malik Thomas and Darius Acuff Jr., and Acuff has a very special scoring ability, and Thomas does too. And I don't know if y'all saw Justin from Hogstats post about what Thomas did, but like 21 points and certain number of assists, maybe 6 assists or 7. And, his stat line was like no one had done that in a long time. And he did it off the bench in his first game. These guys are just very, very blessed and talented. And Acuff didn't shoot as much in the second half, but his first half, the end of that, I think he scored 9 points in the last 143 or something, and it gave Arkansas some separation. So I don't know who, but I like Brazile's rounding his game. Like he talked last night about he wants to score in the post more often. He's got more moves. You can just tell that as a senior now. Some of his shortcomings he's worked on, like his free throw shooting. And I think, when you see Cal, he is a Hall of Fame coach who you see it now, like player development and stuff like that. I've given you a long answer to say that there's a lot of talented players on the team.
Well, to your point about TB, he talked about the level of aggressiveness that he had to play. You mentioned the post arsenal he has. We don't give enough credit to some of the assistant coaches like Chuck Martin and Bruiser Flint. Kenny Payne works with the. I mean, how much of an impact do you think he's had with TB in the offseason getting ready for this year?
Yeah, that's a great point with Kenny on TB because he's a wing player. I mean, and he's got a 3-point shot, but the more he can rebound, the more versatile. The more he can be in the middle and rebound and do stuff. Defend the post and all that. The more versatile they can be with their roster. So what I liked about last night was Southern was a good 3-point shooting team. And, it was a good test. But Arkansas just looked like to their business. they executed their zone offense very well. And I went to talk to Jethro Hillman, who was subbing in for Kenny Johnson last night because of illness. And he was really impressed. He thought their zone defense might do some stuff to, slow Arkansas down, and, throw a wrinkle at them. But they executed it really well. Their ball movement, and Cal got on them. And to me, that's the mark of a really good coach. Like, hey, we won by 28 or 29, whatever. But no, here's what we should have done better. We should have defended better. We were defending on the side. We were letting three-point shooters be open when they've proven. Number 14 was a good three-point shooter, that they can make them. And so I like it that you keep the pedal down, and that's how you keep a good team on focus.
Yeah. Tom, what I liked is you drew 20 fouls last night, 7 of those drawn by Trevin Brazil. He goes 8 of 10 at the free throw line. The team goes 25 of 29 for the game. That's 86%. This is going to be a team that attacks the rim. They're going to make officials make decisions. They're going to make opponents make decisions on how easy it is to get to the rim. This is a team that can shoot north of 80% from the free throw line for the year. A, that would be remarkable, but B, they're going to win some ball games.
Yes, they will. And fouls drawn is a huge deal. I know Cal and his staff are really big on that. And so, yeah, I was going to do a lead note on that for today's paper, but it turned out I did something on ACUF. But they was it 18 of 19 or 17 of 18 in the first half, the only miss by Malik Thomas. But it can change your season. And I was thinking that they were a mid-level or maybe even close to a poor free throw shooting team last year, because I thought they were hovering around 70 or maybe even the 60s. No, they turned out, I think they got hot down the stretch and shot about 74, 75%, which is a good mark from the free throw line. So 88, that's a big first start. But if you can be in the mid-high 70s as a team, it's just so important for you. And, you got to get the right guys to the line. But ACUF drives, Thomas drives, Brazil, Pringle's going to get his share of fouls drawn. It's I know we're being a little bit over effusive about him, but that was a really nice start for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, I thought it was too. Now, I know we got to get to football in a second. Now you get 2 Hall of Famers on Saturday night, 6 o'clock, as Michigan State hosts Arkansas. This is going to be great home and home between these two. They'll come here next year, but I know it's not going to get the attention it deserves because college football is going on. But if I told you, hey, they're going to play this Saturday, but they're also going to play on a Saturday or a Sunday in the Elite Eight in March, that doesn't sound too far-fetched at this point.
No, not at all. And it was really cool to hear Cal talking about, he was asked about, facing up against Izzo on Saturday. And I like his perspective. It's a mature coach's perspective in that he and Tom Izzo are great friends. He's not sure how many times they've played, but he says every once in a while they talk, and both of their wives can overhear what they're talking about, laugh and what have you. But he says they'll be on the phone for 45 minutes, and they'll talk about all the ills in college basketball and, the state of the game and what have you. And when they hang up, they both feel better having talked to each other about this. And so you'll probably read those quotes and see them as the week goes on. But absolutely classic Hall of Fame matchup. And I think it'll get plenty of attention from the hooch world.
All right, Hogs win last night, 109-77, victory number 1 of the year against Southern University. All right, we put it off as long as we can, but we got to talk about this Razorback football team that lost to Mississippi State. Bye week coming up. No Bobby Petrino yesterday. Now that you've had another day to digest and kind of waller in it, what are some of your takeaways from this game on Saturday where Arkansas finds a way once again to relinquish a sizable second-half lead and lose close by 3?
Right. No, that's what I was going to say. It just felt like it's finding a new way to lose. And it wasn't a late fumble or it wasn't a late, couldn't stop the other team. It was a absolute penalty meltdown. And Petrino was right. They had not been a heavily penalized team, but that one moment, they get a 28-14 lead. They convert a 2-point play, so you're up 2 touchdowns. And the aftermath of that play, Green gets hammered, and I think it was a legal hit. I mean, you can argue that Chapin got hit and dropped and landed on a few times and maybe had unsportsmanlike or roughing, but Talon didn't appreciate it. And from that moment forward, it just went downhill. There were so many flags thrown from that moment forward. The thing I know, Tommy, you don't like to talk about officiating. You are one, but it's just, to me, the balance. I saw some blatant Mississippi State holds, and they clearly called holding against Arkansas on both of their drives when they're trying to hold on to that lead in the fourth quarter. And State got away with one on a shape and run on that last drive. So it's just, there was a 163-yard discrepancy in penalties. And it just bothers me, not from covering as much as covering from the team standpoint as a college football fan. I didn't like that blatant discrepancy.
Yeah. Well, and I asked Ty earlier in the show, do you want to call it even or keep it even? Football's a game that's a little harder to manage. When there's a foul, they try to get a foul. But I'm with you. I mean, I think if you go back and you watch the 18 flags on Arkansas and what you can see on the television copy, I think most are there. But I would tend to agree. There were a few things that, to me, didn't match up. And on that 2-point conversion you referenced, I agree. That's where it all came unraveled. And I thought if you were going to call the roughing the passer on Quincy Rhodes in the first half, that was a play or an action by the Mississippi State defense that I thought matched up from what I could see of it. It was kind of in the corner of the replay. But to me, that play looked a lot like what Quincy Rhodes was flagged for in the first half.
Exactly. And also on the other Quincy Rhodes penalty, he's got Devin Booth 5 yards behind the line. And it's a tackle for loss, and it's a huge play. But the whistle never blew, and he kept on going. Now, he should not have slammed him to the turf.
You can't pick him up off the ground. I mean, that's just right there in the rule book. You can't pick him up and slam him to the ground like that.
I know, but the frustrating part is if the whistle blows, maybe he doesn't do that. And so it's to me, it's a failure on the head the ref, Heiser's part. I don't think a whistle was blown. Going back to the 2-point conversion, y'all, I think, C.J. Brown was flagged for coming off the bench. And I think I wrote that it had to have been worth, but I don't think anyone came off the Arkansas bench. Here's my theory on what happened. Rohan scores the 2-point conversion, and he's peeling off, curling around back to the Arkansas sideline, and several teammates follow him, and C.J. Brown is one of them. Okay, so then the thing with Talon happens in the middle of the field. And I'm thinking that the official on the Arkansas sideline is seeing that. And then C.J. Brown, meanwhile, has kind of gone to the Arkansas sideline with Rohan, then runs back out there. And you see him on the TV replay he doesn't do anything, but he runs out to the middle of the field. I think that's why he was flagged for coming onto the field, because he came from behind the official. In retrospect, that flag probably shouldn't have been thrown. And if Bobby Petrino still gets his penalty, then you just go back 15 yards from the 30 or wherever you go from the kickoff, and it doesn't go all the way back to the 10. But maybe they kick off from the 35. That's a failure on my part, not knowing. But anyway,
35. You're right.
Let's say 35.
35.
So they go back to the 20.
Yeah.
And it's not such a long kickoff instead of kicking off from the 10. So all these things happen, and then Arkansas just didn't help themselves with Quincy's tackle, with some blatant offensive holding calls and things like that. And it was just you scratch your head and go, what's next?
But in the end, the inconsistent tackling by the defense and the missed tackles on those last two, all you needed was one more stop. And this is a defense that just can't get a critical stop. And they'd make stops on third downs, but how many – I mean, I don't have the box in front of me. I don't remember how many fourth down conversions, but no one's afraid to go up and call the play on fourth down against you. I mean,
no,
time and time again, you would put yourself in great position after first and second down, Tom, and then on third down throughout the game, they would let that 10 yards get away from them. And that's the frustrating part with this defense. You can do it for 2 downs in a row, but they can't do it for 3.
Yeah, you go back through the whole season. You think about the defensive pass interference calls on third and fourth downs. Blake Shapen threw a back shoulder. If I'm remembering this right, the first fourth down conversion on the game-winning drive was 4th and 7 or whatever. It was a back shoulder. I mean, it's a deep throw. It's a low percentage type deal. But he back shoulders their speed guy. And the cornerback was in pretty good coverage. I think it was Neal on that play.
Yeah.
But Thompson
he couldn't throw that again. He couldn't throw that ball again if he had to. 100 times. It was a 1 in 100 throw.
So they had 2 fourth-down chances on that drive, and I think Mississippi State was 3 for 4 in the game, but they convert both of them. And it was just like if you're an Arkansas fan, you're watching this going, yep, 4th down, they're going to make it, and then they do, and then they do again. And the shape and run, there's a hole that doesn't get called. It's just like things just conspire against them, and it just feels that way right now.
Tom, we'll talk more about some of the coaching stuff later on in the week on Thursday. No football game this weekend, like you said. Appreciate the insight as always, brother.
Sorry to go on and on like that, y'all. Have a good one.
No, that's good stuff. Good stuff with Tom Murphy. It's brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. We visit with Tom every Tuesday and Thursday. Few things in life are more important than showing up, and whether you show up for family or friends or teammates, it doesn't hurt to bring a plate of their favorite beef dish along. Together we bring more. Find your next crowd pleaser at Beef. It's whatsfordinner.com, brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council, courtesy of Beef. It's whatsfordinner.com.
All right, so I'm in the Bushlight Studios with Colton. Tommy's up in Northwest Arkansas. So we are about to do our typical talk of the town. For those that are just listening to this maybe for the first time, there's 3 or 4 questions. We answer them as best we can. The winner gets to name a rule. Last week I had to be a servant for the remaining 40 minutes of the show. So hopefully...
you just had to get coffee and water and something. It wasn't really I mean, you didn't
Glorified
clean anyone's
intern.
car.
Yeah.
You didn't take laundry out. You didn't do it, you just got a couple cups of coffee and some water.
We were very merciful.
Yeah, I thought so.
Let's see how it goes this week.
Hang on, let me get my seatbelt on here.
I love this town. I love the weather. And the word around town says, I love this place. It's a very small town.
Wonder what's really going on in your neck of the woods? It's time for Talk of the Town Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Here's Colton Little with today's top stories.
All right, I explained the rules already, guys. Looking for a new mayor of the Morning Rush like we do every week. Every town needs rules, and there's lots to talk about in this town. Guys, I hope you read the email correspondence that we get from the university from time to time. We talked about this yesterday, Tommy. You may have been listening. You might not have been listening. But there is a new family member up there on the hill. It's Tusk the 7th. He was born on September 17, 2025. He arrived weighing 2 pounds, 8 ounces, 12 inches long. We all know, Razorback, they're just beautiful. So I don't want to hear anything about how we can't keep in-state recruits for 2026. That's a legacy guy right there and a blue-chip prospect. But this is the Tusk thing. The live mascot has been going on for a while now. They take care of him, the Stokes family down there in Dardanelle, Arkansas. Fellas, how long has this been happening? What was the first year that live mascots were seen up there at the stadium being taken care of by the Stokes family? Your options are 1998, 2003, and 2006. Tommy, you won last time, so you get to go first. 1998, 2003, or 2006?
2003.
All right, you say 2003. Ty, what's your answer?
I'm going to say 98. 06 sounds too early.
According to the university press release, Tusk 6 and Tusk 7 are cared for by the members of the Stokes family who have faithfully overseen the live mascot program since it began in 2006.
Oh.
Wow. So you both
Not even
do
20
not
years
start.
old.
Really
I
weak
was
start.
closer without going over.
That's true. It's true. Weak start, fellas. But yeah, it's only been just a little while, and Tusk 7 will be back up there starting next year. All righty, guys. When's the appropriate time to start decorating for Christmas? Do you guys have like a sort of a time frame that you abide by, Tommy, at your house?
Well, it's funny you mention that because the Christmas lights went up on the outside of the house yesterday.
I see. Okay, so Ty, what about you? When do you put that lonely mistletoe up in the Charlie Brown Christmas tree?
I don't decorate.
No. Okay. You just don't care, or what?
I
have anything?
Don't care. I live with 2 other guys. No one cares in the house.
Okay. All right.
Just
Well,
being honest.
Zach Jones, the owner of the Bearded Bouquet in Jonesboro, he cares, and he is a decorated florist, no pun intended there. Several weeks ago, he learned he was one of 300 people across the country chosen for the opportunity to decorate the White House at Christmas time. That is a super awesome opportunity for him, an Arkansas native. He's a big history buff, into historic homes, so this is an awesome opportunity for him. There were thousands of people that applied to get to do this. Fellas, how far is Jonesboro from Washington, D.C. in miles? Okay, in miles. Is it A, 946, B, 1,113, or C, 724? Ty, our resident geography expert, go ahead.
The second one.
So you say 1,113?
Yeah,
Tommy, what about you?
946.
946 is the correct answer, Tommy. You
Oh,
are now
no.
in the lead right here. You are now in the lead. So if you get another one, Tommy, you are deciding the rule for today. Ty, if you tie it up, well, I don't have a tiebreaker, so that means that I get to decide the rule today, and I'm
Nice.
excited, hoping that's how it works out. All right, fellas, last one right here. I'll try and be quick. We all know that the number one, state of how the economy is what's being sold on Facebook Marketplace. Well, in Prairie Grove, Arkansas, baby possums were being sold online for $100 a pop. Unfortunately, that is illegal according to the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, and it is reprehensible, and it's a fine of up to how much money? Fellas, is it A, $15,000? $4,000 or $7,500? Tommy, you answered correctly last time, so you get to go first. $15,000, $7,500, or $4,000.
But your key words there were up to, right?
Yes, up to.
$7,500.
$7,500. Ty, what do you say?
I'm going to say it's the 4,000.
It is punishable for up to 6 months in jail and $7,500 to sell any wildlife online in the state of Arkansas.
Wow.
Tommy, you are the mayor of the Morning Rush. As per usual, you may now bestow upon us your rule for the next 37
All right, so we got
minutes.
37 minutes here left in the show. So here's the rule for today. Anything Colton says the rest of the way, Ty must follow up with, Colton, you are accurate.
Wow.
That is the best take I've ever heard.
I've got to get my pencil ready for all these quotes.
So, Colton, anything you say.
You are accurate. That's the best take I've ever heard.
That's the best take I've ever heard.
The best take I've ever heard.
So that's the rule, the rest of the show.
Great rule, Tommy. I appreciate it.
No matter what Colton says.
Colton, you're accurate. That's the best take I've ever heard. All right. Well,
we got to get to a break.
Well, Colton, that's the best take I've
All
ever
right.
heard.
Talk of the Town, brought to you by Arts Barbecue, burgers and more. They've got 2 delicious pork chops today for their lunch special, and it's good all day. You can get it for dinner as well. 2 huge pork chops. They slather them up with that Arts sauce. Tastes great. 2 sides of your choice, $9.99. You're not going to find a better lunch deal, and I mean it's a full-size lunch. 2 of their great pork chops, 2 of their great sides. I'd go onion rings. Maybe green beans to do something a little healthier. You go side salad if you really want to healthy up their mac and cheese. I know, Ty, how you feel about mac and cheese, but it is delicious. So you can try all that out. Arts Barbecue, pork chops today, $9.99. Call ahead and they'll have it ready, 452-2550, or see them on Rogers Avenue, 2 doors east of Lowe's in Fort Smith.
Tommy, I would say that Ty hating mac and cheese makes him a complete and total idiot.
Colton, that is the best take I've ever heard, and that'll take us into the break. SEC updates coming up next.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years.
Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
Hogs on a run out. Brazil throws it down. That was a 3-on-none.
This is the Morning Rush.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
At Hardee's, every Tuesday is now Tender Bender Tuesday. Right now, download the Hardee's app and join My Rewards. Buy 3 hand-breaded chicken tenders, get 3 free. It's Tender Bender BOGO every Tuesday now through June 2026. This Tuesday, get 3 tenders, free. Next Tuesday, get them free. The Tuesday after that, you guessed it, free. Buy 3 tenders, get 3 free. Another great benefit for My Rewards members. Only at Hardee's. Registration and app required. Available for limited time at participating restaurants. See app for terms.
The season of giving is here. This is Colton Little with ESPN Arkansas, and we're partnering with C2 Supply in Poto, Oklahoma, and we want you to join us for a special cause. Come by Poto Chamber of Commerce this Friday, November 7th from 11:30 to 1:30 for C2 Supply's drive-through fundraiser for the Poto Community Holiday Dinners. Lunch will be served starting at 11:30, and as you go through, cash donations will help provide Thanksgiving and Christmas meals for all local families in need. So drive through and grab lunch, then give from the heart. Together, let's make sure everyone has a place and a meal at the table this holiday season. ESPN Arkansas and C2 Supply, making a difference this holiday season with your heart of giving.
It's football season, and that means tailgate parties and gathering with friends.
River Point Wine and Spirits has all your favorite party supplies. You'll love our clean, organized store full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight.
We're about the toughest there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally climbed the hill. It's the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Will heave it from half court. He was fouled. He was fouled.
Thought we were going to have a upset in Auburn with Auburn and Bethune-Cookman last night as the Tigers fouled Bethune-Cookman right before regulation expired. They knocked down all three free throws, Tommy, down by 3, went to OT. Unfortunately, the Tigers won 95-90. In overtime, but it was
that would not have been a great way to start the Stephen Pearl era. I did see a video from their locker room where he got the game ball, but they kind of just handed. There wasn't much of a ceremony or celebration, but that would have. I bet that had Bruce Pearl sweating through his suit, even though he wasn't there. Probably wasn't even wearing a suit.
They were 24.5-point underdogs heading into that game and almost ended up winning last night in OT. Like you said, it would have gotten off to a bad start. You alluded to the Florida loss last night, albeit Arizona's a top 15 team, but the Gators did go down. I think the only SEC team, if I remember correctly, that lost last night is they lose to Arizona 93-87.
Maybe the only one playing an opponent of note too last night. So
tonight you got Duke and Texas. They'll take on each other in I think it's the Dick Vitale Invitational. Nicholls State in Kentucky, and then North Carolina A&T versus South Carolina. But you mentioned the only top 25 matchup in SEC play thus far today, and then yesterday was that the Florida and Arizona again. Florida lost a good chunk of last season. We're curious to see what Todd Golden can do in trying to repeat as national champions there in Gainesville. Staying within the Auburn conversation, this is from John Talty of CBS Sports that's kind of reported on this. Hugh Freeze was partially fired because of his obsession with golf. He goes 15-19 in less than 3 seasons at Auburn. I guess 3.5 or whatever. Friday before home game this season, he reportedly showed up to the golf course. He would go multiple times on Sundays after losses the previous day. Tommy, I don't know, you and I love going golfing, and I know you and I's jobs differ from any college football head coach, especially the SEC. But if this is true, Auburn fans, they're already irate at him, but it's going to be even worse.
When Petrino was the head coach here 15 years ago, he would play on Sunday mornings. And if you were on staff and you got invited to play, you weren't really invited, air quotes around invited, you were told to play golf with Coach on Sunday morning, it generally wasn't a good thing. It was his way of maybe having a little one-on-one time with you about your position or what's going on. So, I mean, no one cares when you're winning if you play golf on a Sunday morning. So that, these things go on. Again, this is the illusion we have that the coaches sleep under their desk.
Yeah.
They watch film 24 hours a day. They're constantly recruiting and working. The reality is these guys got to have a life too, but I don't know that a golf obsession is the reason Hugh Freeze lost his job. I think the inability to find a winning quarterback in his time there might be number one on the list.
Well, in keeping the Auburn conversation going, we spoke to this earlier. John Cohen talked about that he is really going to be the committee when it comes to this upcoming job. He knows that his job is on the line when it comes to whoever they hire at Auburn, as is Hunter Yurchek's or any athletic directors for that matter. But it is, as you've kind of watched, like you watch the situation in Louisiana, you watch obviously close to home what's going on here in Fayetteville, the Auburn job. Those are the SEC jobs that are open. I haven't paid a ton of attention outside of Scott Strickland's initial statement to Gainesville. Just how these different ADs go about doing what everyone is trying to do and hire the next good football coach.
It's what Auburn's doing, at least the messaging from John Cohen, is a juxtaposition to what's going on at LSU. So if you're trying to position yourself in a stronger limelight than maybe some of your opposition like LSU, that seems to be a dumpster fire there with the governor involved. So I think it is a wise move, at least from the outside looking in, to say, I'm the guy, I'm the committee, it's my decision, and we're not going to have a bunch of outside influences because people want to know who they answer to. People want to know who they're working for, and they want to know who to deal with. And right now at LSU, it's quite a bit uncertain.
And with what's going on here, and I know we're not privy to every single conversation behind the scenes and the different inner workings within big money boosters at Arkansas, but I could be wrong about this, but I would think that whether it's Jerry Jones, John Tyson, the Hunt family, if you somehow got the Waldens to contribute, they would want a pretty big say on who the next head coach is based on the amount of money they've been spending. So I've always found it fascinating how ADs go about fundraising versus who they think they should get versus who that big-time booster wants to get, whether it's here in Fayetteville versus anywhere else for that matter.
Someone gives you a lot of money to get the outcome they want. Why did John Tyson pledge a bunch of money to the basketball program? To get the outcome he wanted, which was John Calipari being the head coach. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you're going to get a significant, and I'm not talking $1 million, I'm talking multiple millions of dollars. $10 million. If you're going to get that kind of contribution from somebody, you're going to hire the person they want. I mean, that's what you're signing up for. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing as long as it's the right person. But, so those are the conversations we don't know are having. And is there any dissension amongst boosters, or can you get all the people that could write significant checks on the same page? I think we're still, it's November the 4th. This process of firing coaches isn't complete either. So, we've still got to see how some things play out over the next couple of weeks.
Clemson lost again on Saturday.
I think just like Cal, he's ripe for the picking for somebody. Maybe not Arkansas, but for somebody.
And we played the clip of Herb Street earlier talking about maybe I'm trying to will it into existence, but there is the recruiting we know is a deficit for Arkansas relative to in Gainesville or Baton Rouge or in Auburn. But just the pressure that you have in those places versus Fayetteville, I wonder if that factors into the minds, because Herb Street was citing that may factor into Lane Kiffin's decision if he ends up staying put at Oxford, because you just simply don't have the same pressure there as you would at those other three places I listed. And so I wonder if that factors into maybe potentially at least trying to sway a coach to come here to Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Dabo's been there, what, 16 years now? Something like that?
Took over for what? Tommy or Terry Bowden? I forget which one.
Yeah, I think it's like late 2000s, like 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. Anyway, point is there's fatigue that sets up. And I think when you compare where John Calipari was at Kentucky versus where Dabo Swinney is at Clemson, I think there's a lot of similarities. I think you could see a mutual parting of the ways. Dabo trade in that set of problems for a new set of problems and move on. And I could absolutely see him taking a top shelf job somewhere outside of the ACC, somewhere like an Auburn, somewhere like a Baton Rouge, and somewhere like a Gainesville, Florida, and just walking away. I think that just he's probably tired of them, and I think they're tired of him at this point. I think there's a lot of similarities in the situations.
All right, that is your SEC update here on a Tuesday.
And it's brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group. If you've got a job you're trying to plan, or maybe you've planned it, now you need execution. When it comes to all the aggregates and materials you need to get the job done, sand, rock, gravel, ready-mix concrete, asphalt, all of those items are available with Standard Materials Group and APAC Arcola. 479-587-3300 is her number. 587-3300. If you need help with the planning, to pull that off, whether it's trucking and logistics, whether it's drone capabilities, whether it's engineering and surveying, they've got all the connections and the ability with their complete construction consultant services to pull that together for you as well. 479-587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group.
First and goal from the 12. Brissett lets it fly. John McBride, touchdown.
Not the outcome Dallas Cowboy fans wanted at home, going up against the backup quarterback. 27-17, the final, as Arizona comes in and defeats Jerry Jones' squad. I don't know if you saw Stephen A. Smith in the box with Jerry Jones, which I thought was an odd dynamic considering it seems like they are actually friends, but Stephen A. loves to play the entertainment value and have funs with Jerry's Cowboys. But the trade deadline, Tommy, it's today at, I guess, 3 o'clock, 4 Eastern. I know Dallas was in the midst of a trade with Cincinnati. We'll see what else comes out. I've seen different rumors for not just Dallas Cowboys, but saw A.J. Brown might be on the trading block. There's always some crazy things that happen on this day leading up to the trade deadline later on this afternoon.
Well, and it says here that the Cowboys have acquired Logan Wilson in a trade with the Bengals, like you were talking about. So, and Jerry Jones also talked about last night during a radio interview that there was or an interview after the game that there is something in the works. So I think it will be interesting. I don't think maybe the Cowboys are done at this point. So, hey, it does point to playoff time. We are here in basketball. We've been talking about college basketball beginning, the NFL determining their division winners and playoff seeding, college football doing a lot of the same. And the NBA is back as well. That's why you need the Oakland Sports app. New customers can earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Once you deposit, you're automatically enrolled in the promotion. You get a second chance on your first bet each of your first 10 days. So if your first bet doesn't work out, they'll give you a freebie, a mulligan, if you will, each of the first 10 days up to $100. Profit boost on qualifying parlays, outright winners, spreads, totals, player props, and more. It's all there. Bet with Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. Bet with the brand you trust. Bet with Oakland Sports.
So back to what happened in Fayetteville last night. Who's been more impressive thus far as a true freshman? If you've watched the exhibition games and you watched last night, is it Darius Acuff or is it Malik Thomas?
Acuff to Thomas, open three from the corner, and it's good. Malik Thomas pure with that shot. Arkansas is up 15-3.
Darius has been more of a ball handler. He started with DJ Wagner, and then they sub, and he becomes the primary guy. Malik is more of the scorer and the shooter. Showed a capability last night with 7 assists that he can be a distributor as well. But if you had to pick one of the two freshmen, and I know Isaiah's in there too, but he hasn't played as much and hadn't had the same impact, which of those two would you select from?
Ooh.
Which of those one of the two?
Well, he talked about them playing together. I guess Acuff at this point, but I mean Malik off the bench has just been unbelievable.
Well, and that's what I have always, and I don't pretend to be a coach, but I've always thought it's
tough.
It's a good thing to have scoring and shooting off the bench. And I personally hope that he keeps Malik as the sixth man or the seventh guy that comes up. I don't want him to start because he gives you such a spark. And again, what he's done in these first 3 games, 2 exhibition, first real one last night, is not going to be consistent. There's not a single freshman in college basketball history that has had success throughout his freshman year. It just doesn't happen. He's going to have lulls. He's going to have games where he doesn't perform. Hopefully he doesn't lose confidence. But I just hope that Cal keeps him in that role, because I just think that gives you such a spark off the bench. And he's talked about the luxury of having the 8 different starters or whatever, and he can mix and match. And Carter, hopefully, if not back Saturday, will be back next week. And you go from there what the lineup looks like as you can continue on through non-conference play.
And Ty, Coach Cal mentioned last night teams playing zone against them, and he hopes to see some more of that. And whether they're going to sag and make the lane hard to penetrate, or whether they're going to hope Arkansas can shoot out of it. Who out of those two, and who in your guard group can still get in the lane when they pack it in, or who can make the shots to bring them out?
Can I say Darius Acuff to answer that question? When I saw him last night,
that's
dude,
a great point,
just to tip off, dude, his shoulders and his biceps, that kid does not look like he's 18 years old and a freshman. He spent a lot of time in the weight room, so he's going to be able to muscle in there into the lane. And, I mean, he made, 2 or 3 straight trips down with a 3-point game against Southern, so that was – he's going to be able to do both of those things.
Had an and one, very crafty in the lane. I mean,
what'd you think of that take there, Ty?
I thought it was a great take. It's the best I've ever heard.
Thank you.
Colton,
Thank
great
you.
job. But I said that earlier, just couldn't hear it. But
I
think,
couldn't hear it.
So Allen Iverson, who is regarded as one of the best, if not the best, small guard in the history of the National Basketball Association, him and Isaiah Thomas, kind of 1A, 1B. I mean, he loves Darius Acuff. There's a lot of connections there. I know that Darius was a part of, I can't remember if it was a camp or a team that Iverson was associated with, but just kind of that ability, and it's not like Acuff is that small for college standards, but there's a lot to like in his game. I think that zone that you were talking about, Cal's teams have struggled throughout his time in coaching against zone. So for Malik to be that like zone buster at times, hopefully this season, I think that's going to be a key to get him in earlier, because he can just thread a zone with his 3-point ability.
Yeah, Colton, what do you think?
Well, it's a good point here from John and Mountain Home. He said they're both incredible, but Acuff has that dog in him. You know it when you see it. He doesn't even smile.
That's a great point, Colton. It's the best I've heard all day.
And that's from John, so thank you, John.
Thank you, John. Honestly,
Colton,
just
anything else? Colton, before we talk about Gaston's, anything else you'd like to opine on here?
No, I think about how one of these days, Ty, you're going to be old, you're going to be gray, and it's just going to be it's going to be really, really fun to think about all the good times that we had together on this show, and I just can't wait for that day to happen.
That's an accurate point, Colton. I don't know if I've heard a better one all day.
Colton, what do you think about the weather outside right now?
Oh, you know what? It's pretty good. I can't complain about it at all. I wish maybe there was a little bit more sunshine, maybe a little bit longer, but what am I? I don't know much, do I, Ty?
Another astute point, Colton.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I don't know if there's been a better one made all day.
Yeah. No. Colton, how will Arkansas do against Bye this weekend?
It's going to be a tough one, but I think they should escape narrowly with a 1-score loss.
That's a great point, Colton.
Thank you.
I don't know if I've heard a better one all day.
Thank you.
This
is a great rule, Tommy. If you want to do this, can be your standing rule every Tuesday if you want.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, Colton, what do you think about Gaston's White River Resort?
I think it's one of the best places in the entire country.
You gotta go. We gotta go. Gotta go. A great point. Let's go. Come on. We're running up. Let's go.
Gaston's White River Resort.
Like you said.
870-431-5202. Great place to stay. It's one of the best takes I think Ty's heard all day, and one of the best points you'll hear. But Gaston's has the perfect spot for you to enjoy a weekend getaway or maybe a few days on the White River. Fishing's still open. Don't let anyone tell you different. Their guides can take you out for a great day on the White River. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
So a lot of work to do, and we're going to get our ass embarrassed on Saturday.
This is the Morning Rush.
How could I possibly be expected to handle work on a day like this? Take a day off and check out the certified pre-owned rides at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car and upgrade to the road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle of your choice and get state sales tax paid. So choice. I highly recommend picking one up. Life moves pretty fast, so stop and look around at Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com. You're still here? The ad's over.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Is your business's IT infrastructure secure? At Dixie Digital, we provide comprehensive managed IT services to ensure your systems are running smoothly and your data is protected. Combine that with Xerox, Brother, and Epson reliable printers and copiers, and you've got everything you need for success. Call us today at 783-6600 to learn more about our IT services and special offers. Dixie Digital Imaging, your trusted partner for IT and document management.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
It's always good to be home for the holidays. So if you are currently looking for a different rental, or you're new to the area and looking for your first rental in the River Valley, Marshall's Management has you covered. Apartments, duplexes, and single-family homes are all part of Marshall's rental inventory. And currently, Marshall's is offering holiday specials with big discounts on first month's rent and signing gifts to help you enjoy the holidays in your new home. Check out availability at marshallsrentals.com and get your unit picked out before they're all gone.
Have you had Cheerwine yet? The cherry flavored soda has had people coming back since 1917. This is RD with Platinum Distributing. We help bring Cheerwine to the River Valley for you to try. Nothing goes with food like Cheerwine. Burgers, barbecue, pizza, you name it. Okay, now we're hungry and thirsty. Cheerwine is a one-of-a-kind soft drink with a unique cherry taste that has been delighting Southerners for more than a century. Pick up Cheerwine at your local Jam Mart, Harps, and other fine establishments. Cheerwine, uniquely Southern since 1917.
When electrical needs pop up, don't get left in the dark. Call the local team that's trusted on and off the field. Harrison Electric. That's who homeowners and local businesses choose. Harrison Electric. Honest, dependable, and they leave no mess behind. From quick fixes to major upgrades, Harrison Electric is your go-to for all your electrical projects. Don't sit on the sideline with electrical problems. Get back in the game with the pros you can count on. Harrison Electric. Honest, quick, trusted. 652-3077.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. To get started, find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call your Shelter Insurance agent, Ryan Hughes, in Fort Smith.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Anybody interested in grabbing a couple burgers?
Those are good burgers, Walter.
Archer Burger. My God.
This is CJ's Trivia Tuesday, presented by CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Fayetteville and Russellville.
I got the shakes that'll make you quit. I got the fries that'll cross your eyes. I got the burgers that'll... Just the burgers.
When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
All right, so we talked about Trevin Brazil this morning, who, man, he had a game.
Hogs on a run out. Brazil throws it down.
Career high for Trevin last night, not only in points scored, but also free throws. He goes 8 of 14 for 25 out of 11 rebounds. Your CJ's Trivia Tuesday question. Just need a text this morning. You don't even have to call on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Trevin's birthplace is not too far from home. Where was he born? 877-377-6963. Tommy, do you know this offhand, where Trevin is from originally?
I think I know where he went to high school, so I'm thinking it's the same place.
Yeah, it's right around that high school you're thinking. It's kind of an odd name high school, but where is Trevin Brazil from? 877-377-6963. Mark is correct. Springfield, Missouri, home of the Missouri State Bears and home of Trevin Brazil. I was actually, Tommy, one of my friends does news and TV and sports over there in Springfield, and Trevin's like a big deal, especially like around there, just because of, obviously he's from that high school. But Arkansas not too far from Springfield, and I'm sure that there's a lot of fans there that are loving seeing him have success here in Fayetteville.
He's gonna make a lot. He's making a lot of money playing at Arkansas. He's gonna make a lot more in professional basketball down the road, though.
Yep.
That's for sure.
No question about it. Love seeing TB have success, and hopefully he can have more outings like that the rest of the season. First game is Arkansas knocks off Southern 109-77 last night. That's your CJ's Trivia Tuesday, brought to you by the best burgers, best fries, and best shakes place in all of Arkansas, CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. Keith Wilson and his team whipping them up the best way possible in both Fayetteville and in Russellville, the original Arkansas Avenue location. Get the fry sauce. I promise you put it on anything, it's fantastic. Take the seasoning home with you. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. Tommy, big game on Saturday with Arkansas Michigan State. No football game. A lot of people will be watching that.
6 p.m., so you can watch games all day, play golf, go hunting. It's the opening weekend of Modern Guns. A lot of people do what they got to do all day, and then watch some hoops at 6 o'clock.
Phil Elson is in studio today for halftime. He's up with Matt Jones and Big C. After this, can't wait.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options.